Hello, intrepid adventurers. Welcome to episode 3 of Anthropology and Dragons, a podcast where I talk about TTRPGs through the lens of social science. My name is Kaylee, and I am an anthropologist. Today we will be talking about the game table as a liminal zone. Please remember that if you enjoyed this episode of this podcast, please come and support my work on my Patreon, and don't forget to hit all of the little buttons so that I can pay my bills. Thank you. There is a moment familiar to anyone who has ever played a tabletop role-playing game. The books are opened, the dice are gathered, the last conversations of the day taper off, and then, almost imperceptibly, something shifts. The room feels different, not transformed exactly, but softened. The ordinary world recedes just enough to make space for something else. This moment is the threshold, and the table is the place where it unfolds. Anthropologists call this kind of space liminal, a word that comes from the Latin limen, meaning threshold. It describes the in-between, the transitional, the space where identities loosen and new possibilities emerge. Victor Turner wrote that liminality is a state of ambiguity, openness, and potential. It is neither here nor there, neither the world one leaves nor the world one enters. It is a space between. The TTRPG table is one of the most compelling liminal zones in contemporary culture. Unlike a magic circle, which imagines a boundary separating play from life, liminality emphasizes the blending of worlds. At the table, players remain themselves, even as they become their characters. They inhabit a dual awareness, one foot in the everyday, one foot in the imagined. The table becomes a site where these two realities overlap, where the symbolic and the personal intermingle. This duality is not a flaw. It is the source of the table's power. Liminal spaces have always been places for transformation. In rites of passage, initiates enter liminality as one kind of person and emerge as another. In myth, heroes cross thresholds into forests, caves, or underworlds where the rules of ordinary life no longer apply. In performance, actors step onto a stage that is neither wholly real nor wholly fictional. The table participates in this lineage. It is a place where players can explore alternative selves, confront symbolic challenges, and rehearse forms of courage or vulnerability. The table is also a space of suspension. Time behaves differently here. A session may stretch for hours, yet feel like minutes. The outside world fades, not because it is excluded, but because attention is gathered. The table becomes a focal point, a hearth of shared imagination, where the rhythms of daily life pause long enough for something meaningful to unfold. This suspension is not escapism. It is intentionality. It is the deliberate creation of a space where imagination can take root. The liminality of the table is reinforced by ritual gestures, the rolling of dice, the opening of character sheets, the invocation of the session's beginning. These gestures are small, but they signal a shift in mode. They tell the participants, we are entering a different kind of time, a different kind of space. They mark the threshold. The table also holds the emotional weight of liminality. It is a place where players may reveal parts of themselves that remain hidden in ordinary life. A character's fear may echo a player's own. A moment of bravery in the story may resonate with a moment of bravery needed outside of the game. The table becomes a space where emotions can be explored at a symbolic distance, close enough to matter, distant enough to feel safe. This emotional liminality is one of the reasons TTRPGs foster such deep bonds. Players witness one another navigating symbolic trials. They share laughter, tension, grief, and triumph. They see each other take imaginative risks. These shared experiences create a sense of comunitas, a deep, unstructured form of connection that Turner described as the heart of ritual life. The table is also a place of negotiation. Players negotiate identity, morality, and agency. They negotiate the boundaries between self and character. They negotiate the unfolding of the story. This negotiation is not a distraction from the liminal experience. It is a part of it. Liminality is not chaos. It is structured openness, a space where meaning is co-created through interaction. This is where we recognize the table as more than a piece of furniture. It is a symbolic threshold, a place where the ordinary and the extraordinary meet. It is a site of transformation, not because it transports players to another world, but because it allows them to inhabit the space between worlds. It is a hearth of liminality, warm, inviting, and charged with possibility. The table endures because it offers what a modern life lacks, a place to pause, to gather, and to step into the in-between. And in that in-between, transformation becomes possible. If you enjoyed this episode, please feel free to come and join me on Patreon and support my work. I also am on Threads and Instagram. See you later!